Hi, Manya. Okay, first, this is my dog, Jim. He's very sleepy right now, so he's not gonna say hello, but he's the best. Ginger. Okay. Um, so I am really excited about this course because I've just found out that I will be teaching in Denver Public Schools next year, and I didn't choose the district or my school because it was an urban district and because of that aspect of it, but rather because there's a certain methodology in language education that Denver Public Schools is at the forefront of really in the nation. So I'm really excited to be part of that. And now being in a large urban middle school with a lot of cultural, racial diversity is a part of that. So I think this course will be really interesting for a lot of reasons. Um, as we talked about in class, I know I can't expect that on the first day of school all five of the dimensions of multicultural education will be part of my teaching on the first day in my first year because it's a lot, but I think it's really important to start off this course and my career with an idea of what those are and how I can bring those into my teaching bit by bit. Um, and this methodology in language education is called comprehensible input, and it's used in most Denver public schools. And it's really fun because it is based entirely on student experience and student interest. So each class will be different. I'll have in a week 3 verbs that I need to teach. But the way that that class learns those 3 verbs is completely based on what I find out about those students' interests, and they create the stories and everything around their interests. So that's great because it helps create buy-in and relevance for the students, helps me to get to know the students better, and helps them to get to know each other and feel comfortable in the classroom. So I'm really excited to get into that as a teacher. Um, and I really appreciated the reading on professional identity. That's something definitely that we're all trying to figure out as we get started. And I know it's shaped by, or will be shaped by who I am, but also by where I am. So my professional identity at my student teaching experience in District 20 versus the last 2 months I spent in Spain as the outsider versus next year in Denver Public Schools will be a very different, well, in some ways different identity. Um, and I guess that's all I have to say on that. I related a little bit in the what would you do scenarios. I related most to Sophie, who is the bilingual educator, because I know that somewhere along the line a student will ask me, who are you, white girl, to be teaching us Spanish? And to me, the way I see it is that I'm a teacher first, and that it happens to be Spanish, which is the content that I fell in love with. But that even if I hadn't learned Spanish, I would still be a teacher. And I think there's also a lot to be said about I'm not a native speaker, but I've gotten to at least close to native proficiency and fluency, and so you can too. That these 14-year-olds can see me, and I started learning Spanish when I was 14, and 10 years later, here I am, and that they can reach that point too, and that fluency isn't something reserved for speakers who are already, or native speakers. And that showed them that language learning is a lifelong process, and that I'm further along in that process, that language learning, just like all learning, is a lifelong thing. I hope you had a good night, and let's see if we can get Jen to say something, but maybe he's too tired. Jen. Oh, Jenny.